Have you ever followed a Finfluencer's advice only for you to end up with a financial setback? Today, we are uncovering the dark side of financial influencers, the pitfalls and risks hidden behind flashy videos, and of course, the sensational headlines. So, if you're relying on social media for your money advice, you need to hear this. Don't go anywhere. Hi, I'm Miss Wangoi Muthathi, and welcome back to my channel, your trusted source for personal finance and wealth building insights. Today we're talking about finfluencers, financial influencers, and how they actually revolutionized how we access financial advice, making it easier than ever to learn about finances or money. But there's a flip side. Everything has 2 or 3 sides to it. Okay? So today we're talking about the flip side of this influencers. And this is because not all advice that is out there is qualified. And sometimes the tactics used can sometimes do more harm than good. In today's video, I'll be talking about why you need to be very cautious of influencers. You need to examine the cringe-worthy pitfalls that they often promote and share tips on how to navigate this landscape carefully or safely. Before we go all in, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications bell to join our community of savvy investors. Let's start with the first major pitfall. One of the biggest issues that we have with influencers is the lack of formal credentials or regulatory oversight. And this is where you'll find them presenting speculative market predictions as facts, even though only about 1 in 10 TikTok finance creators have real financial credentials. So they are unqualified to be giving you advice. Why is it risky for you to listen to this kind of person? When you follow unqualified advice or advice from an unqualified person, it can lead to catastrophic losses for you, especially if you are an inexperienced investor. Okay? Without accountability, these promoters often promote strategies that ignore individual financial circumstances. Okay? This lack of expertise means that you as an investor needs to be more vigilant when it comes to advice that you follow online. It's not everything that you're told to do that you actually do it. So. Now, let's talk about how clickbait and fear-mongering distorts our perceptions. This is, of course, the clickbait culture and fear-mongering. To exploit platforms like YouTube and TikTok, many influencers use sensationalized titles and thumbnails. For example, the worst market collapse in history, or something like I lost everything. These kinds of topics or thumbnails, this is just simple tactics to create a sense of panic and urgency. That should be the first red flag you're looking for. When you see content that prioritizes shock value over substance, this most of the time is masking a lack of real expertise. And this is because exaggerated claims may boost views, but they rarely offer you actionable advice. There's no advice, Remember, if something sounds too dramatic, it might be designed just to scare you than to inform you. Okay? So be on the lookout for that. Next, let's explore the risk of promotions that hide conflict of interest. This is where you'll find financial influencers, sometimes implicated in promoting high-risk schemes. For instance, dubious crypto platforms, MLMs, or other get-rich-quick plans. They might earn hefty commissions, yes, for these promotions. Yet, they are downplaying the risks involved. At the end of the day, you as an investor go down, and this Finfluencer also goes down regardless of the hefty small price that they were paid. The key takeaway here is if a creator's advice aligns suspiciously with a sponsored product or a high risk scheme, question their motives. Okay? Question their motives because their primary goal might be to earn affiliate revenue and not to help you build lasting wealth. Okay? When it comes to wealth, you just have to be cautious all the time. Never let your guard down. Now, let's talk about fabricated wealth and survivorship bias. And this is because many Finfluencers, not just financial influencers, even these other kawaida influencers, they flaunt luxury lifestyles. Things like private jets, flying first class, designer brands, and expensive cars. All this just to build credibility. However, these types of displays are oftentimes exaggerated. They exaggerate, yet they are renting out these things or simply faking. So you'd be very naive to fall for these things. So the reality is this. Even when some wealth is real, factors like luck, privilege, and market timing play a very huge role in their success. Okay? Instead of genuine hard work, they often rely on flashy images so that they are able to sell their narrative to you. This phenomenon, known as survivorship bias, makes us forget that the real path towards success is more complex than what we see on social media. Okay? They show you what they want you to see. It's like you're giving them the authority to control your mind. Actually, if you fall for it, that is. So all that is just online noise. Okay? So how do you cut through this kind of noise and actually find trustworthy advice? Because there is online. How do you identify trustworthy advice? With all that being said, that there's a lot of bad financial influencers out there, not all influencers are bad. Some will provide valuable insights. Okay? You just need to pay a little bit more attention. Here is how you spot a trustworthy financial influencer or influencer. Talking about green flags to look out for. Look for creators with formal credentials. Okay? These creators will provide nuanced advice and acknowledge that what works for one person might not work for the next. In short, what works for me or what worked for me might not work for you. Okay? Those honest, brutal truths. Those things that most of the time people don't want to hear. Yes. These are creators who are transparent. Okay? And transparency about sponsorships is also key. Some of the red flags to look out for is avoid anyone promising you guaranteed returns or promoting an all or nothing approach, especially if they are pushing a secret strategy or, as I said earlier, using shock tactics. Be very cautious. This is why I tell someone, run for your life. Okay? So always verify advice with independent research. Go and do your own research. Or if you have the money to pay a consultant, consult a licensed financial advisor. In conclusion, most of them have made it easier for us to access information about money. Considering the fact that we don't learn about money in schools, they have democratized access to things like personal finance advice. Their lack of credentials, those clickbait tactics that they use, and conflicts of interest simply mean that you need to be extra careful. Remember, nothing good comes easy, especially when it comes to money building wealth. Don't be lied to. So be extremely careful when it comes to this online advices that you're being given. Don't let sensationalism cloud your judgment. Prioritize evidence-based, nuanced advice and always verify with trusted resources. Okay? Verify. Sawa. Don't be so quick to trust someone you actually don't even know. For them, it's business. It's unfortunate we live in a man-eat-man world. Okay? So they get paid, they don't care who goes down along the way. So you gotta protect yourself. No one is out here in the business of protecting you. You have to do that for yourself and for your loved ones, of course. So read more and always leave your antenna up. Okay? Don't leave any stone unturned. Ask questions, do your research, do what you have to do. That's the only way you get to save yourself and save your money. In the meantime, let me know, what red flags have you noticed the most in Finfluencers lately? Let me know in the comment section. Well, I hope this gets to help someone. I'm Miss Wangoi Mwethathi, your personal investment coach, and I'll see you in the next video.